Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of TIA vlog series. I'm Ada and I'm always very happy to see you guys watching my vlog. Thank you for those of you who are just watching for the first time, and for my regular people who always look out for my vlog, good to see you again. How have you guys been? How has your week been? Finally, we're in the summer holidays. The children are back home now from school. Everyone is home and looking forward to the summer holidays. And in the UK, it's getting really hot. It's getting so hot. It's unbearable now. And from the look of things, over the next 4 weeks, it's going to be really, really hot. Massively hot. Oh my God. So get your bomb shorts out. Get your dresses out. And start living the life. Yes, living the life. Summer's here. Summertime. Well, let's get back to today's vlog. Today, I'm going to be talking about emotional abuse. Some of us are very familiar with domestic abuse, domestic violence, and other forms of abuse. The reason why I've chosen to talk about emotional abuse is because, as the topic says, it's subtle, it's silent, and it can easily be missed. Domestic abuse, which everyone knows because most people are talking about it now, women are talking about it, celebrities are coming out to share their experiences. Yes, we know what it's all about. We know it involves a lot of physical contact and, all sorts of things, shouting and getting upset and getting angry, and eventually bodily harm, injury and all that comes up. But the truth still lies therein. Before we get to the point of domestic abuse, it starts slowly, it creeps up, it escalates, and that's where you find, it's in that corner, you find emotional abuse. Before it hits the roof, you have emotional abuse. For the Africans especially, let me just break this down. For those of you who are non-Africans watching my vlog today, Africans do not usually believe in, emotional abuse. We don't believe in it. We don't believe it exists. We know there's verbal abuse. We know there's you calling your child, names, or abusing each other, or using abusive words. Yes, but emotional abuse goes beyond that. The very core of emotional abuse is to control. It's to control the individual, to make them do what you want them to do, or basically to kill their spirits and make them feel very small. That's the main core of emotional abuse, and it's evident. It could be between a parent to a child relationship. As Africans, we tend to yell at our children a lot. I'm guilty of that, yes. I shout at my boys. I say, come here, I'm calling you. I say things like that to them. Don't be silly, you big-headed boy, come here. You silly boy, come here. We do that a lot. And as parents, we don't really mean half of the things we say. In our native dialects, we use things like, for the Yorubas, they might say things, Oloshi, Olori Buruku. Igbos might say things like, Mojo. We say all sorts of things, but the truth is we don't really mean these words. They are quite harsh words, but no parent would genuinely call their child an abusive word, an abusive name. No mother, no father will do that. But it's just part of our culture. I bet when I was growing up, I'm sure I must have been called names. Maybe skinny legs or lanky one, something, come over here, come and do your chores, or come and make your bed, or why haven't you done your homework, you stupid girl. All sorts of things we use at our children. They could come under verbal abuse. In this society we live in the UK, we will call them verbal abuse. Yes, they call them verbal abuse. They may also tag them as emotional abuse. That's how the culture here is. But back home in Africa, and as Nigerian parents, we wouldn't see it that way. We don't call children these sort of names because we want to abuse them. That's not the intention, but that's what we know. That's how we were raised, and that's what we've carried on. Now, enough of the child and parent concept of emotional abuse. I want to move into the adult. In a relationship, we're both two different individuals who've come together to make that relationship work. It could be a marriage, it could be, a dating arrangement where you're going steady or you're committed with the hope of getting married. But the fact still remains is sometimes we have differences, and these differences can escalate. If you are in a relationship and you feel that you're not able to express yourself because of the way the other person would make you feel, or you feel that sometimes you have to bottling a lot because you don't want to seem like a nag, you don't want to seem, like you don't want to rock the boat, or basically the other partner or the other person in the relationship has made you feel so little, so small mentally and emotionally that you just give up and you just go with the flow. That's another form of emotional abuse. As I said, it is subtle. It creeps in unknowingly. Africans are not in the habit of speaking up about emotional abuse. If your husband calls you a fat woman, or calls you an unpleasant name, or maybe pokes or makes fun of you, or if the woman always pokes and makes fun of her husband or her boyfriend amongst his friends or amongst friends generally, that's a form of emotional abuse. People may laugh it off, oh, don't be silly, he's just being silly. But yes, it may sound silly to us, but it's a form of emotional abuse. And women especially, women folk, we always end up settling for emotional abuse. Unknowingly, we always end up being an enabler in an emotional abusive situation because we don't want to rock the boat, because we want peace, we crave peace so much in our relationship, which by the way is a very good thing, is an honorable thing to remain peaceful amongst men, to be peaceful amongst your friends, your family, your relationship, your loved one. It's a great thing. But when you find that you're sacrificing so much, you're slowly losing yourself, you're slowly losing your voice. When your partner does something or says things that are hurtful, you just feel, there's no point in me saying anything. It's probably going to end up to become an argument. And then you keep quiet. And then you recline. Slowly it builds up. And before you know it, you either become resentful or there begins to become a distance. There'll be a distance, mental and emotional distance. And before you know it, you're confiding in other people. And before you know it, sometimes on the extreme cases, you could begin to have affairs. And then the next thing is, oh, she's a very loose woman. Oh, he's a very promiscuous man. It goes both ways. The woman could be the one on the other end who's actually emotionally abusing the man. So it goes both ways. But today, I want us to be very careful in the way we behave to one another, in relationships especially. Women, please keep your eyes out. If you're in a position where you feel your relationship sort of doesn't give you the room to speak out, or every time you raise a subject or a topic, it's thrown back at your face, or you're made to feel like you're a troublemaker. Because I was in a relationship once, and every time I spoke up, I'm a very outspoken person, by now you all know that. I'm a very outspoken person. I say what's on my mind. I don't like to bear grudges. How it comes out might be the wrong way, but the truth is, I mean no harm. So women sometimes feel like, I don't want to really cause problem. I want peace. In your quest for wanting peace, you begin to deny yourself a voice. In your quest for wanting the relationship not to be turbulent, you begin to, take in so much, and then you may end up turning yourself into a doormat. What is the solution here? I'm not asking you to break up your relationship. I'm not asking you to go to World War, kick off and start a World War I or World War II or even World War III. You could just take a moment and be honest with yourself. Identify that this is actually an emotional abuse. When you identify it, the best thing would be to seek an individual third party, somebody you can talk to, a family friend, a close friend, maybe a member of the church, somebody whom you know is very neutral and very objective. That person may be able to shed more light on the situation and will see clearer for you. And then hopefully you can slowly get guidance on how to speak out, on when to say, can I have a word with you? Can I explain what's going on? Because we both want the same thing. If you're in a relationship, you want peace, the other person wants peace. But when you think that you're going to take in so much because you want peace, then that's no longer a relationship. That's an abusive relationship. Because you want peace, you keep smooth. Because you want peace, you allow the other person to throw words at you and then apologize and then buy you a gift or take you on a holiday or buy you a Porsche or Range Rover or buy you a house. It doesn't change the fact that it's emotional abuse still. Until I come your way, please ponder on these words. Emotional abuse is subtle, it's real, it's true, and it is slowly build up towards anything else. It could be domestic violence eventually, it could be physical abuse, but domestic violence is always at the top of it all. Emotional abuse is here. It starts from here and it goes up and up and up if we do not tackle it at the early stage. Until I come your way next week, guys, stay cool, enjoy the sun, and you know what? I want you to be the best you can be. Bye.